We're live. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O. Here it is.
Uh-oh.
Nate, can you make sure that people can hear us as we get ready here?
Yeah.
Hey, it's just roll with it. What happened to episode 10? Same thing that episoded to episodes 2 and 3. They're on my computer, but you haven't seen them yet. We've been away for a while, but here we are playing some D&D. Nate's over there. He's Halls Dyer. Carrie's over there. She's cashing on. Sheila's over there. She's a global pandomic. And Tina's down there. She's Valerian. Where's Scott? Well, he got his workstation last week, so that means work started this week. So he's a little sleepy Scott. So Zepp is going to go back to the inn and take a little nap. How is everybody?
Aw.
We sound
is.
good, Nate? Is that what a thumbs up, or are you telling us we're good? You're muted.
Nate, silly, you're muted.
Guys, I'm muted. I'm feeling pretty good and we sound pretty good. And guys, I love being muted.
Good. Good.
Bye.
Love it. Hey, when we left off, you guys had just gone to Jezra Nye, who was originally introduced to you as a halfling by the name of Clementine. You found out that wasn't what she was. You also found out one of the birds on her husband, Humphrey, was a puppet. I believe Valerian figured that out. Yeah. So that was good. And then you would, I believe, was it after that you guys had talked to a halfling who hooked you up with the idea that you could go to,
I think it was before that.
it might have been before that, Peregrine
we-
Dewfoot you had talked to about Shinnel music. And where you could lay down some music. He pointed you in the direction of the Fiddly Twinkles, I believe, is what it is. Which is a music shop down in the Pier District. That seems to be where all of the economy happened. But you guys are in downtime right now. Nothing is really going on. At some point, you should decide and talk to Clatch, the captain of your ship, where you would like to go next, but presumably you guys are going to spend the night at the Wayfarer's Welcome at the top suite, which you guys were granted because it was you that solved the goblin problem, not Arnold Chesterweather, who was claiming that it was he who did it, which is the captain of the ill-fated ship, which was Pando and Zepp's ride from the continent of Zebria over to Mundo Harbor, where they were overtaken by goblins. And then that ship is now currently setting sail somewhere with Vincent Lacklear aboard. But you guys have a night that you can rest tonight. You still have probably a few hours. I would say it's late afternoon at the moment for you to go shopping and to check into some things. You can go together as a group. You can split up. Whatever you guys want to do, downtime kind of works that way. You also don't immediately have to get on the boat. So if you wanted to stay around tomorrow and have another day of shopping and things, you could do that.
Sounds like we're on a cruise and we just landed and we get to go out and explore. It's fun.
You kind of
I've never
What
had
I'm
that
saying
experience.
is when you take a trip on the Comfort Wave Breaker, that's what you get every time you land.
I feel it.
It's almost like the ship is saying that it's breaking waves of comfort, preventing them from coming to you.
No, it's the wave of comfort breaks over your soul as you travel on our trip. On our boat.
Oh, yeah, I wondered about that too. Okay.
But also, it's a boat that breaks waves, but it's very comfortable.
Good.
As a reminder, I believe you saw it in the last episode, to our faithful watchers out there, the ship itself is kind of like a deadliest catch fishing boat. Right? It has been decked out with some throw pillows and things, but that's basically what it is. You get the sense that like part of the design of the ship is that parts of it go underwater when it's sailing.
So Hallstire, I know you wanted to just record that magical melody that you sang for the tavern. I also have some interest in maybe finding a potion or weaponry stores. I don't know what everyone else wants to do.
That's really practical. I did want to pop into this little crafty jewelry store just because I used to make that stuff, and I feel like I don't know, maybe something I made its way there. I just kind of want to check it out.
To check out some books. I feel like I gotta see the bigger picture, you know?
Good.
Great.
We all have a thing we want to do.
All of that stuff is
Have a good nap, Zep.
Yeah, bye, Zep. Love you.
Yeah, Zep.
Love you.
I'm gonna go take a nap. I'm pretty tired. And this is bad, Scott. I'm trying to do his impression.
A nap is like a prank you play on the brain.
That's what he says, and he skips off to the Wayfarer's Welcome.
Oh, that's the most magical thing I've ever heard.
That's good.
It is good.
Cruel prank.
Well,
So actually, a lot of that stuff, maybe not the weapons, maybe the potion. You're not sure, but everything else, minus what Valerian wants to do, is at an artsier district of the thing. So you could knock out a lot of that by going down to the music shop. You ask a couple people, and they point you in that direction. Yeah.
let's
Would
hit
we
up.
have enough time to go both there and to my stores, or do I need to separate off? To go
No, you
wherever?
would probably. I mean, depending on how many antics happen, you'd have enough time. Yeah.
Well, without Zep, I doubt we'll be getting into any antics. I mean,
Just a low antic trip.
Great.
all right. Well, let's head over to the music shop.
Okay. So you do make your way down, and you start to notice that as you are walking kind of a little bit into the alleyways and a little bit away from the wharf area itself, and a little bit back. So it's kind of off the beaten path, but it's enough that like there are signs there that any sailors who would want to come and engage in any artistry or things, they would be able to do that. You start to see like just pole, like the ground is still kind of like docks. It's dirt and dock. You get the sense that this is kind of a marshy beach area that's been populated, almost kind of like boardwalks. And you start to notice that some of the posts that are there have yarn painted around them, or there's actually like very artful graffiti over it. Some of it actually like moves. It's actually magically and enchanted. So there is like a dragon will be circling or something like that, and there's an image of like Mundo Harbor being created by a gentle like hand as you go past one store. But you walk a little bit deeper, you see some people who are pedaling, playing music on the streets with hats out. And you make your way to kind of a general like square, if you would. And that's where the established shops are. But there are definitely like kiosks of just little oddities of could be jewelry, like shoes, skirts, kind of like that hippy dippy-ish, sense of like very flowy clothing and typical of like Artscape, if you would. Anything you see at Artscape, you kind of see here. But the majorly established stores, you do see the music shop very prominently displayed as Fiddly Twinkles. Fiddly Twinkles is what it is. And next to it is a craft supply store, which is called Knitwits. And then there is a bookshop, a small little bookshop there. And it is scrawled in very like flowy lettering, almost kind of like of a different world than this one. Like it's purposely trying to look elvish, even though it's halfling. And it's called The Folded Pages Journey.
Guys, this is so cool. It's just like a landscape of art, like an artscape.
Took the words out of my mouth.
I just love it.
I got this thing called a snowball. I don't know what it is, but it's delicious.
Ooh.
It's so funny that you would both come up with the idea that it was a landscape of art. That seems like a very specific idea that you both would have had.
Maybe it's an elf thing,
Right.
right?
Oh, I see.
Were you? Yeah.
Remember, I was raised by my human mother instead of my elf father. Who
Sorry.
left me.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to hit a nerve.
No, I get it. I would have known if I'd been raised in an elf household. I get it.
No, it's okay. Hellfire, use this as fodder for your
I'm just
next
messing with you
TP.
guys.
Use it for your next
Isn't
TP.
it like a town though? It's not really like land, and it's mostly on like water. So I don't like. Are they escaping the art?
It's almost as if it's a water world.
But with
Anybody
art?
get that reference? That
I've heard of that reference. I don't know that I get it, but I've heard of it.
Okay, fair.
I'm getting the artscape vibe more.
Okay, that's fair. Artscape.
Like my nanny, Mrs. Doubtfire, said, it doesn't matter what you call it as long as you enjoy it while you're there.
I have a real quick question, Cashion. Did
Yeah.
your father, who was missing during this period of time, also say that?
Yeah. What?
Okay.
Wow. Maybe you do. It doesn't matter who raised you. You know things that are in here too.
That is one thing to take away from that. Yes. How about I'm going to head over to the music shop. I don't think you guys need to accompany me there. You guys can probably go wherever next, unless we all want to sit behind the glass and snap your fingers or whatever while I do it.
I mean,
I have trouble snapping because I'm web.
Sorry, Valerian, I didn't mean to.
I snap
Make
very
you feel like that.
easily because in the forest you often have to break twigs with haste in order to clear a path. So
That's
if
not-
you need someone as backup, let me know.
I was looking forward to doing some backup snaps. I really was. I haven't spent that much time around music.
Oh, it's okay, Valerian. Also, Pando, I think the snap you're talking about is a different one than the one that Cashion and I were talking about, possibly.
No, it's where you make a fun rhythmic noise by breaking a bunch of twigs repeatedly.
Isn't
So-
that,
You need a big pile.
doesn't that hurt the trees?
No, you have sometimes you gotta break a branch so it can grow taller.
Well, the branches fall off naturally anyway.
That too.
Well, great. Do you guys want to come over to the music shop with me, or
Can I just wave my finger?
you absolutely may wave your fingers like this?
Yeah,
So-
I have some extra twigs in my backpack, so I'm good. To help you snap.
You don't. I'm sure they would appreciate you not snapping the twigs in the studio.
So once a branch falls off a tree, you don't have to feel guilty about picking it up and maybe breaking it or using it for something.
Ashenon, the forest is an ecosystem, okay? Living and dead, it's all part of this giant organism. And when these things decompose, it just feeds the other animals, and then a new tree grows, maybe in 100 years.
Can I have everybody roll a perception check, please?
Oh gosh, wait.
I'm out of practice. Hold on.
11.
I accidentally closed my web browser.
A 23.
And drum roll.
Oh, I did
Snap, snap.
9.
It's just loaded. Okay. Da-da-da-da.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start.
Sorry.
Yeah, take your time. But Hallsteyer with a 23, you definitely would have noticed. You see, sitting on a like one of the posts, like at the top of the post, kind of perched, with her foot kind of like up and leaning with a sketchbook. There's a young halfling woman, definitely a young woman, like maybe the equivalent of like human upper teens, like definitely college age, if you would. She's got red hair, like kind of red auburn hair, and it's all kind of like swooped down over one eye. And she's got like a bunched up scarf, and she's wearing almost entirely just like very form-fitting black clothing. And she's got one foot up, the other foot is kind of over it. Like she's kind of sitting lurched over. It's hard to describe. Like with her one knee up, with the other over it, with a sketchbook or like some sort of journal listed there. And you, being an artist yourself, recognize that you kind of got the sense that like maybe she was just sketching and everything like that, but she's actively listening in on your conversation, and she is definitely taking notes on you guys in particular.
Everybody keep talking normally.
So the branches, they decompose.
But quietly, and actually listen to me. So I believe that woman in the black over there with the scarf, the rather pretentious looking one, I believe she's listening and taking notes on our conversation.
No, I think she's real. I don't think she's pretend.
No, agreed. You're right. She's not pretend, but she is taking notes on our conversation.
You think she's just interested in trees? I'd love to go talk to her. If she's
You know what? I actually think it would be, you are a pretty good candidate to talk to her, I think. Yes. Why don't you go see what she's doing?
All right. I'll go try it out.
All right.
Okay,
Also-
so I'm going to walk over. Now what do I do?
Okay. Her eyes kind of shift as you're coming there, and like there's a couple of moments where she makes like awkward eye contact with you, and she kind of like takes her journal, puts it over her chest for a second, tries like puts her feet down, kind of like pretends that like she's not doing anything, and then hops down off of the post that she's on and just kind of like starts walking away, like like towards a shop that she. Oh, I was looking. I actually needed another scarf, and she just kind of like says that to herself, walking over to that.
Okay. Okay, so Pando, I'll try and scurry after her a little bit. Excuse me.
I'm sorry. What?
I can't help but notice. I heard we saw that you were listening in on our
I
conversation.
wasn't doing that. I wasn't doing that.
Really?
Yeah, she was.
Sorry, that's my friend Halstead. He said, yeah, you were. And listen, if you want to talk about trees or anything like that, I'm your person. I'd love to chat with you.
You see, like now that you're looking at her, she kind of like gets flustered, and like her freckly cheeks, kind of like the whole face just kind of starts to turn beet red, and she's like, No. I don't need to. I was buying scarves. I was just journaling. I promise that would be like. What if I was looking at you guys? That would be so weird. Why would I be taking notes on you guys? That would be absolutely. It was so weird. I would like. Why would anybody do that? I wouldn't be doing that. That would be like, what an insane thing to do. That would be an insane person thing to do. I'm just gonna buy a scarf.
Reassure her. Reassure her that it's fine.
You seem very flustered. You're beet red. It's okay. It's okay.
I'm sorry that happens. It just happens when I'm like that's just like the sun.
What's your
It's
name?
nothing. It's just something that happens to me. Okay, it's not a problem.
It's cool. I sweat a lot. What's your name anyway?
It's Ryan.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Name's Ryan.
Okay, but and like you notice that other people are starting to like watch and look and stuff. So like, I don't need the scarf. I'm just gonna go home. It's not a problem. I'm just gonna
join us. Pando, invite Ryan.
Look, Ryan. Like, I'm here with a couple buddies of mine. You could say that we are a friendship group. And
Right, that's our name.
and they'd love to meet you. They'd love to meet you. Come on, we're only in town for like one more night.
Okay.
Can I do anything to persuade you?
I'm so sorry. I was watching you. Okay, I'm just so sorry. I was. It's just like, I'm in an acting class right now, and I'm supposed to be playing an elf. And like my teacher said that like one of the things that we should be doing is that we should like be observing everybody. And like I didn't mean to be weird, but it was just like you guys look so different. Like all of the elves that I've ever seen have just been in the local shows here, and they're all played by halflings, and like they don't really know what they're doing. And like I was just like I'm supposed to like get into like I'm just supposed to people watch, and it was nothing personal. I just like I just didn't want to. But the way you were talking about the trees and everything like that, that was like exactly what I needed. And I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. I'm so sorry. I mean, if you could answer a couple questions, that would be like super sweet. But I don't mean to ask. Like that's insane of me to ask. Why would I ask that? That would be insane.
Not insane. Not insane. If this is your technique, I mean, yeah, I'm here to answer whatever questions you have.
Oh my goodness. Well, like, where do you like come from, and like, what's it like being like so tall? And you were talking about like twigs and stuff like that, and like the forest being like an I don't even know the word that you used to describe it. It was a word that I haven't even heard about. Like, and like I've never even like really seen a forest. Like, what's a forest and what's it feel like? I've heard that like elves are actually part of the forest, and that they like what is that? What is that like?
Wow. I love your energy. You know, if you want to come talk with us and examine our characters more, like you're welcome to come along. We're about to actually just go to like some bookstores and a craft store.
Oh, but I mean, I don't mean to interrupt your shopping. I mean, like maybe
No,
like we can
come
just
with
meet
us.
up later. I mean, like there's like there's like a little bit of like I mean, it's nothing like big, but like some of my friends get together and we just have like a little rehearsal group, and we do some like you can see some of the work I'm working on, and maybe you guys could like come by later and see it. I mean, I have a flyer for it. Like we don't really even charge. Like you could just come by and do it later. But I don't want to interrupt. And like I know it's like super. You're only in here for one night. Why would you want to come and watch like amateur performers figuring out how to be elves? I totally get that. That's like crazy of me to ask. But if you
Are
want to
there
come,
any Tritons in your show?
I'm sorry if no.
Okay. We can go watch it anyway.
That's my buddy Vlarin. Listen,
I have webs.
give us the flyer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, please. I have plenty.
Thanks, Ryan. Okay. Yeah, and listen, anytime you want to talk about trees, just send the signal.
I don't know what that means.
I don't either.
Well, enjoy your shopping. We'll be like here. We're just out usually in the square. I mean, it's usually after everything like quiets down, and we're just going to be doing some of the favorites. Just like maybe some stories that you've heard and things like that. So if you want to stop by, I mean, like again, like I don't expect you to come. Like I don't expect you to be there. Like, but if you want to come by, it would be like totally fine if you did.
Oh, all right. Yeah, we'll definitely think about this on our walk.
Great. Thank you. I'm just gonna thank you so much. Okay. I'm gonna go buy a scarf.
Okay. Bye. You guys, that was so weird.
Yeah, she was a lot.
Do you think that's really what she was doing?
Oh, I definitely want to see her show now.
We have to go see her show.
Yes.
It's
But
going to
we
be
should buy things
so
first.
bad.
You guys have that much energy? We've attacked a lot of people and been attacked. I guess.
I still have just under a third of my energy. I'm willing to spend it on that show.
All right.
Well,
I can rally.
Let's do fiddlywinkles before we accidentally notice someone else.
Okay.
I walk through the door.
Okay. As you go in, it is a like everything here is kind of like board built, pretty sturdy, kind of good, your typical like lumber wood. I mean, it looks like everything is really kind of nimbly created. Some of it is kind of like caked together with like sand, like almost like mortar and sand and things. And this has been fashioned together to almost have like their old instruments that are like actually part of the wall that are keeping it together. As you walk in, you see on display there are any number of just all from all over the world. Different stringed instruments, flutes, whistles, tambourines, like percussion instruments, all of these different things. You have like a few people like looking around and buying it. Like you got a halfling with like super long bangs over the side, like flipping and playing a lyre, and he's like, talking to one of the people who looks like a sales associate and like playing some lick on it and saying like, yeah, I don't know that I like the feel in the neck on this one, and like that kind of thing. And then there in the back, you do see a bunch of cages of parrots in the back, and it does seem to be an area of set up for recording. And back there on a stool, also playing a lyre, just kind of like playing it together, is a bald, like monk-style balding halfling. Big pot belly that is open with like a like long flannel shirt that's coming down to the side. He's got big black boots, black pants on with like rips and chains in there, and like a beard kind of coming down to a point, huge tufts of like rolling graying brown hair. His arms are also hairy all the way up, and a big gold chain around that, just sitting there playing. You're muted.
When you were making this motion, were you talking about his chest hair?
Yeah.
That's how voluminous his chest
Very
hair.
Yeah, like the character who played Kashanon's nanny, definitely style of hair. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna head back to the guy, that guy, near the cages, and I'm gonna say, "Hey, I hear you all do EPs here."
He is going to look at you and says, "Yeah, brother, we can do that, absolutely."
Nice. What's your name?
My name's Alderald Sackville.
Otterod Sackville?
Alderald Sackville. You can call me Audie.
Audie?
Audie, yeah. You probably
All right.
heard me. I got a couple of these buzzards flying around. Moonlit Twinkle?
Oh, I might have heard that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's mine, yeah.
Well, Audie, we just did ourselves an adventure, and we're sort of a friendship group, if you will. And we, I think I'm gonna do some extended parrots and get them sent around some islands.
All right, brother. How many parrots you trying to call up here?
How many do you do per 10?
10 parrots?
Well, they can all learn at the same time, right?
Yeah, absolutely. What's the range on these puppies? You trying to get them into the mainland or just around the islands?
It's around the islands.
Okay, all right. Yeah, we can do that. 10 parrots?
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's be a hefty little price there, baby. You got 40 gold on you?
I do believe I have 40 gold, yes.
All right.
I give you 40 gold.
Okay.
Negotiate.
What?
In the future, you
He's an artist. I don't care.
All right, well, make your way back behind the curtain. It doesn't look like it's going to block much sound, but we got a couple wizards down here, made some things happen. It's real damp, real nice back there. You're not going to have a lot of bleed. You all going back there or what?
Yeah. I'm ready to snap.
Yeah, we can't have a friendship group with only one person.
Right.
You-
A
you all
group
wanna do
implies
that?
more than one person.
You want to
Sure.
do backup singing? Is that the...
Yes.
Yes.
Great. And would you by any chance want to accompany me on Lyre?
Me? You? Yeah, I can. I got a couple musicians around. Is there anything else you need? We can play some backup to you. You
I
want
think
my
the-
services are going to cost you another 10 gold. I mean,
Yeah, sure. Why not?
great.
Listen, you got to make money to become a legend.
You're not making any money.
I have a lot of philosophies about money, and I'm not a rich man. Let's just put it that way. Yeah. Let's get this recorded.
Okay, so you organize some things. It's probably going to take a little bit of time for you guys to like actually sit down him to learn the melody. You guys need to learn how all the things work. He has the parrots kind of there, and now that you get a closer look at what these parrots look like, they do look like your typical parrots. They're like hair, their feathers kind of flare up really long, all the way back down the back of their body, and you notice that each of them has a pendant on it that is around it and is glowing, and you glean that this is probably some magically enchanted item that makes them able to do this. As they're getting ready and perching, it is eerie how much they are watching everything that you are doing. You have never felt so recorded before, right? I mean, in a fantasy world, this is nothing that you have felt before, and it is like such active and intent surveillance, and in their eyes is almost like a human sentient knowing as they're waiting to listen to this. Would you guys like to role play any part of this, or just kind of skip ahead?
I would like, during the verse that's about me, to just give at the most beautiful moment the most authentic guttural roar as if I were going into a rage.
You do, and one of the seemingly younger parrots actually squawks at that moment, and they have to like go back. As you guys are leaving later, you notice that there's an editing process where they have to like train that out of the younger parrot, and some of the other parrots had overheard it. Yeah.
Fantastic. Great. Then I guess are they going to release them?
Yeah, as you guys go, he explains the process that they'll need a little bit of time to make sure that they...
So is there a return on investment? Are there like royalties if this goes well?
Typically speaking, it is kind of based on a name recognition system. So bards in other towns will learn this and then play it in other towns, and when they do, it'll all be accredited back to Hallstein. The life of a bard is really to try to acquire as many patrons as possible. So the hope of the bard is that eventually some rich noble will then start to finance their journeys or things like that, or nobles will request private performances from them. So there's no direct return on investment, no, but the word of mouth is what you're going for.
And actually, I would like to, because I realize that my name isn't Hallstein on every island, I want to use, and I do during this, another name that I have that is more when I want people to talk about me, almost in code, and I want to get well known. And have people sort of be mysterious about who I am. I use the name. I use my first initial, which is Q, but I also want to remain anonymous. So it's by QAnon. It's our new name of the artist, I guess technically.
QAnon,
so that's
great. I love it.
QAnon. Hashtag QAnon.
Hashtag. That won't play well with Goblin audiences. But that's okay. So QAnon, great. So the other thing. Oh, actually, Hallstein, do roll a performance check for me. In that, and I would say you can do it at advantage because you had backup.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me do performance. What'd I get on that? 15. Let me do one more. 27.
27. Yeah, all right. You crushed it. Even as you're leaving, Audie kind of like says like, dang, some of you big folk have large fingers. I didn't think that you could handle these puppies as well as we did, but baby, you got some.
That's what I've been told.
All right, come
great.
back anytime, all right?
Oh, for sure. I think, honestly, you could see us again. We'll have lots more adventures and such. Do you have any other establishments on any other islands?
No, I mean, not. I mean, personally, it's just all here off Mundo. But, I got the birds flying. You'll hear some stuff from around here. Got some, really trying to get a new movement called Shinnel going. I got a new artist. I don't know if you've heard of him, Peregrine Dewfoot. He's an up-and-comer. I think he's going to be all right.
Oh, good to hear that. That's great. We know Peregrine.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. All right. Well, let's head off to the book and/or art store, whichever.
Great.
What do you say? The art store cashing on? I feel like we've all been chatting up a storm, you know?
If you don't mind, it's right here. I'd love to pop in. I think it's right here. It's right here, right?
Yep, it's right next door. And the same kind of thing is as you walk in, you realize that like everything is like yarn graffitied. You know, like the city has like yarn graffiti sometimes, like it's got that going, like things are looped up in there. You walk in and it is busy. There are a lot of like young and old artists kind of looking at like basket weaving materials, jewelry making, like everything that it seems that the people around in the kiosks are using comes from this particular hub. You do see like some heftier halfling men like bringing in exports and imports from the docks back and forth from that as well. So this is going pretty well. Right up front, as you walk in at the counter is and like kind of frizzy haired halfling woman with an apron, and she's talking to like a usual customer, and she's like, come on, Sarah, I know you need a little bit more than that. Listen, I'll give that to you half off, don't worry about it. And she's kind of like hustling with her customers. She seems to know them very well. Yeah.
Hi, you have a really, really nice shop.
Oh, hello there. Had to duck a little bit coming in the store, did ya?
Yeah, no, that's okay. You have all this cool stuff. I haven't seen this many crafts in one place in so long. I miss it. I can smell it.
Yeah, my partner and I, we've been working for years to get this thing up and running. I mean, just such a flourishing arts district. I mean, what are you interested in? What can we help you with?
Oh, I used to make so much jewelry. I just love just anything that I can braid or, weave together. And I kind of want to just touch the fabric again. It's just been so long.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my partner is really the jewelry maker of the two of us. I mean, she's over in the corner of the store. Feel free. Darling, you have anything you've made that I can take a look at? Maybe we can see what we can set you up with.
Oh, yeah. This on my wrist here, I made this.
Oh, my God. And she looks at it and inspects it and kind of like, oh, my goodness. It's quite deft work for someone so large. I'm often surprised you don't usually get these small knots. You've come to the right place. Thank you so much. It's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and these earrings, actually, too, which are obviously metal work, not fabric, but... yeah.
And she actually like gets up on the counter, like steps up on the counter and then like looks at the ears. She runs her finger under that and kind of takes a look at it and she goes, marvelous. And actually like kind of goes and touches the point of your ear, interestingly, too. Sorry, had to. Don't get a lot of the tall folk around. Well, feel free to look around.
Ask before you touch an ear, but that was fine. Yeah. What was your name?
Oh, my name is Tiffany Followick.
Tiffany Followick. Well, you have a wonderful store. I would love to talk to your partner because I'd really love to buy something and remember how beautiful this town is.
Please, yeah, she's right back. She's running a little workshop right now for the young ones, just right around the corner. So just go ahead and check it out.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you do. You go around the corner, and there's like long, flowy hair, like big, long tunic, and kind of like the equivalent of like a 3 wolf moon shirt and there's like incense burning, and she's talking to the younger ones and like pulling things, looping things together, and she's like, well, it's delicate process, but it's rewarding. You'll get it. And she's kind of like coaching a few of them and like making small metalwork things.
Wow, they're so good. Hi.
Hi,
Sorry.
yeah.
Sorry. I'm impressed. They're little children and they're so good at this.
Oh, well, the young folk and tiny deft fingers. And amazing what we can do. Goddess bless.
Yeah. I I'm looking for if you have some material and I made this and I'd just like to make another one.
Oh, that's
Um
beautiful. That's such small knots for someone so big. It's amazing.
right, that's what I'm told. It's
Yeah.
just I'm good at small knots and so I really want to, something local so I can make local material to remember this island. Um
All right. Well, it's a limited supply. You can only find it here. But we do have a bit of unworked and unrefined moon ore. Comes right
Ooh.
from the center of the island here. It's really the heart of Mundo Harbor. It's mined only on a particular time of the year, but be happy to sell you some. I mean, how much you looking for? How what are you looking to create for this?
I just want to make another cuff for my other wrist, and then maybe add some small, shine to it. So some small jewels.
Sure.
I don't know how much money I have. How much money?
You
do I
guys as collectively have
Action.
750 now that you dropped your money on the EPs, the extended parrots.
And yes, I am recording it in crayon. You're welcome.
She says, "Well, yeah,
Hello.
I mean, enough for a cufflink, and we could certainly spare
frozen.
that. You have to understand,
Am I-
it's a
Am I
bit.
frozen?
Sorry,
You're frozen, Kashina.
From our perspective, Terry,
Yeah.
you're frozen.
I'm sorry. Did you need something?
Oh.
You just
Oh, you're back.
you're back.
I'm sorry. I had a memory overtake me.
Oh my
of
goodness, it happens to me all the time.
when you
Sometimes
said
the goddess will speak to me, and Tiffany says that I'll be out for days at a time.
it must have been you. You said moon ore, and then I touched my wrist, and I was transported back to when I made my first piece of jewelry. I'm sorry. It's like everything wasn't moving.
Hold out your hand, tall one.
Oh, okay.
She presses her hand, and it's quite small in yours, and up to that, and has a minute. And it's a pretty long minute. Some of the kids are like, Miss Tunley, I'm not sure if and she's just like out, gone for a second. Oh.
Hi, you're back. Now
Yeah.
you're back.
Have you ever met the goddess?
Met the goddess?
Calliope, the goddess of creation, the one who builds all, creates all, the living
Oh.
force, pure
I wouldn't-
creativity.
No, I don't. I haven't met Calliope. No.
Something tells me that you might.
That's wow. Thank you. I
Tall
feel like
one,
an honor.
I don't do this often,
Oh.
but this moon ore for you, I'll give it to you 25% off.
I'll admit I thought you were gonna go bigger with the discount. We had such a moment. I'm sorry. I'm not. I have such a humble background. I shouldn't be picky. That was so lovely. All right. Thank you. 25% sounds like
Off of what? You people.
you have to make money to be a legend. That's what Hallsdyer said. So it's okay.
That'll be five gold, sweetheart. I know that this will treat you right. And listen, when I work with this, which sometimes it's only in the moments of pure creativity when I really feel like one of her muses is speaking to me. Do I really even touch this stuff? But when I do, it is the most inspired moments that I've ever had.
I get it.
That'll be 5 gold, please.
I know you said okay. All right. Wow. This is amazing. Thank you. Thank you. I cannot wait to create with this material. I really think it might change my life.
I think it will.
Okay. What was your name again?
My name is Hildegard Tunley.
Hildegard Tunley. Thank you. That was
Francis, you're doing it all wrong. That's okay. We'll start over.
While this is happening, can I Tiffany was it?
Yeah, absolutely. What's up, sweetheart?
Hi.
Whoa,
Oh my God,
okay.
thank you.
Triton
Yes.
in the house. Crazy.
I know. It's not. I'm just yeah. So I am looking to decorate the most comfortable room you've ever seen. If you were to like choose the most comfortable like decor you have, tell me about comfort. Would it be like a nice word that says like pray, laugh, parrot? Or would it be like a nice just like picture of a fish? Like what says comfort?
So she reaches out and like grabs your hand, and it's partially to be like listen, and it's also partially that she is like feeling your.
Do you want a hand massage? I give really good hand massage.
Oh my! If you'd be willing, I absolutely yes. And and she's like, as she's talking, she's like, first of all, I love the parrot idea, the pray parrot. Beautiful idea. But if we're thinking like comfort, that is really absolutely going to be like velvets, things like that. Do you want something that needs to hold up?
But like when you rub that the wrong way, it like feels not comfortable.
Understood. And where's the environment that this is going to be in? What are we
going
looking
on a
for?
boat.
Oh,
on a
okay.
really comfortable boat.
Okay, so you need something with a little bit of heft. You need something with a little bit of...
And maybe a little water resistant.
Sure, okay, well, it's expensive. It takes a little bit of hunting and a little bit of work to get, but what you're really looking for is owlbear hide. It is beautiful, wonderful. It flows like a dream, sews perfectly. It is water resistant. It is feathery, it is fluffy, it is nice.
What have you done with this owlbear hide? Are you just like throwing it like a throw fur, or are you like have you made like a wall art piece? And are owlbears native to this area?
Owlbears, we do have owlbears up in the upper cliffs. We do have a few owlbears. We do send some hunting parties up there very occasionally, but yeah, we have their hide. It has been tanned, it's ready, it's water resistant. We have either just raw work that you can do, or we do have throws and blankets. It's really up to you. We can give you it as a fabric and you could sew it yourself, or we do have a few wall adornments and the like.
Can I see what your wall adornments are?
Yeah, she shows you, and it is like just like a giant like tapestry that would be on a wall.
Talk to me about prices.
Okay, this has been worked. I worked on it myself. I mean, you felt
and it is beautiful work.
Nimble. Thank you so much.
You clearly are talented. I felt your hands. Oh, clearly the hands of the craftsman.
Back at you. I mean, it's amazing. I don't understand how you would ever get any sewing done, but it is just.
I don't do a lot of sewing. I mostly pierce things with my trident.
Oh, well, that's fun.
Yes. So just, something to keep in the back of your mind. Go ahead. Tell me about your craftsmanship.
Yeah, you look at it and it's a tapestry, and it is like it's interesting. Like the way that the owl, like the feathers look like feathers, but they are furry, and it looks like a bear and an owl mixed together. And as you look at it in the light,
I understand what an owlbear is. I want to know like what like the artist is saying in this craftsman craft.
Oh, well, I when I was working on it, I was really trying to capture the way of the owlbear, and we really caught this one right at the turnover of the seasons before its next coat of feathers came in. So it's it speaks to me personally. When I was working with it, I could feel the change of it. The vernal nature of the piece was really what I was engaging with as I was working with it.
And how much is this piece?
This piece would be 30 gold.
Okay, so I totally understand that this is like clearly spoke to you, and it is beautiful, but you have to understand, as a stranger, right? I just that's just a little out of my price range. But what I can offer you, if you maybe give it to me for just a little bit less, is it's going to go on a boat where many people are traveling to your island. So I could make sure there's a little, maybe some signage that as people are passing through, they know to come to this shop every time we land on this island because of your majestic work.
Okay. Well, if you gave me a night, I could sign in. I could stitch in our symbol there. I would be willing to take I'd be willing to part with it for 20 gold with that arrangement.
Absolutely. Yeah. And however you want to do your signage, I'm happy to promote an artisan of the quality of your stuff. Thank you so much.
Goodness, your name, sweetheart?
Oh, hi, I'm Blaren.
Ah, Flaren, it was a pleasure. She holds your hand and actually like deigns to creep up your arm a little bit and like touch the scales.
Tiffany, and I will push her back down, but give her a nice massage to ease the force of with that. Great.
Well, this was fantastic. Thank you all so much. Can we get you anything else while you're here?
No, thank you so much.
Well,
this is so nice.
Sweetheart, come back tomorrow morning. We'll make sure that's all set for you.
Wonderful. Thanks
or
so much.
We'd be happy to hand deliver it to your boat if you'd prefer.
Oh, we'll swing by. No problem at all.
Not a problem. Well, come back anytime.
Great service.
Valerian, you should be our permanent price negotiator.
Yeah, don't.
Every
trust
time
that.
any of us make a purchase, you should be the one to negotiate with the salesperson.
It isn't. So the way it was explained to me, because I wasn't allowed to keep my own money for a very long time, is that you're just always supposed to ask to give people less money. So when people say, give me this money, you say, no, I want to give you less money. And then you try not to make them angry.
See, the thing is, you have a way of doing it that works and requires us to not have to do that. Because none of us like doing that, even though the result is a net positive.
I didn't buy a net. I bought an owlbear.
Okay, well, that's okay.
Wow.
Yes, but you have a skill, and we think that we should designate you the user of that skill.
I will do my best.
Okay. I realize now, I wish I put an advertisement on those parrots for the cruise line.
I'm so sorry. I misheard as I was having.
You could go back, Halsire, and do that easily enough.
Let's run up next door, you and me, Valerian, and we'll put an advertisement for the cruise line on those parrots.
Okay.
Yeah, because we spent the money. We might as well get more money from it. You cannot become a legend without making money.
Without making money.
Without making money.
Without making money.
Do you guys want to role play that, or just assume that it happened? Because there wouldn't be much pushback. Yeah, okay. If there's ever any time that you just want to like skip to the next thing, just let me know. But we are improvisers. We like to role play, so take your time.
Ina got frozen on such a nice picture. That's
Aww.
yeah. If you ever want to get frozen, that's
the way to do it, Tina.
Yeah, she's like, hi. I get my frozen, and I'm like,
Yeah, mine's always. I look very pained.
yeah. Or usually confused, which I guess I see a little bit of confusion in Valerian's eyes there.
Oh,
Yeah.
there she goes.
Oh, a little bit of desperation. She'll find her way.
Yeah, she'll be back.
She'll be back.
She said she's
Right.
super frozen, probably has to restart.
Well, let's head over to the bookstore for Pando's.
Pleasures?
Yes. Now remember, we're not buying anything until Valerian can negotiate.
Totally. I wouldn't think of it.
So you make your way into the bookstore, and it is one of those bookstores. And you notice that it's labeled as a bookstore, and it is called the Folded Pages Journey, and under it is written like a little inscription that's like library, bookshop, and knowledge porium. Kind of again trying to write in what you guys know to be Elvish script, and it is pretty rough. So you make your way inside there, and there are a couple people kind of shuffling around in there, but for anyone who is like kind of claustrophobic, I mean, you guys are big to go in here already, and it is like there are books everywhere. And there is Tina has updates for her computer. And as you are walking in, you do see the store owner who's like up on one of those ladders that goes across the bookshelves, squat, little glasses, and fluffy white hair and a little vest checkered around in there. And he looks over and says, welcome, welcome, welcome to the Folded Pages journey. Be careful. Don't soil anything. If there's anything I can help you with, let me know.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey,
This place is trying hard, right?
It's trying a little bit hard. The script stuff is a little much.
Okay, good.
You two?
Oh boy.
You are elves, aren't you?
I'm gonna go step outside.
Catching on. I don't know your name. You in particular, the tall one with the flare and the fists and the jewel. You a high elf? Do you hail all the way from Ratchian?
I forget. What am I doing?
High elves do come from Atchion. It is the continent that you would come from. My goodness. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Yes, thank you. You don't need to touch my ears, do you? Because someone recently touched my ears and it kind of threw me.
I wouldn't dream of it. I know that your culture does not like to be physically affectionate. Welcome, welcome. I mean, certainly someone as you are a walking library yourself. It was such knowledge, and I'm sorry, Shelby, I'm not as familiar, but you seem to be a different type of elf.
I'm a druid. I'm a druid. I'm a druid. My name's Pando.
Okay. Well, welcome.
Welcome. All right.
If there's anything that I can, any assistance, anything that you're particularly looking at. I know someone as learned as you would be looking for something in particular. Is there anything I can help you with?
Do you have any books about the history of this town?
Certainly, the history of Mundo Harbor
Mundo Harbor.
Yeah, of course we do. Absolutely, we have the goddess's works. This beautiful deep dive into the beginnings of the town and everything that has come up to that. We do have this other tome that speaks of the ill-gotten mistakes of the goblins on the other side, and we do have that. And we have a modern history that I'm currently penning myself. It's not ready for release yet, but I'd be happy to let you take a look.
Oh, you're writing the history. That's very impressive.
I am the current history, modern history, of course.
Sorry, yes, modern history. Yeah, I'd love to see the modern history.
Oh, please, absolutely. And he shuffles you along. Now, be careful with this. You have big, stupid fingers. I'm sorry to say that, but be careful with that and take a look in a book. And you do. You can roll an investigation check if you want to glance through.
Okay. 4.
You look at it, glancing through, you're kind of just like, the big dumb fingers thing kind of got you a little flustered. You feel like he's watching you. You don't really read closely. All that you're able to glean from that is that trading has gone up recently. Yeah.
Oh. All right. Well, that's a very fascinating modern history. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Do you have any books on we've done some island exploring, and there were some caves that we kind of walked through on that other side of Mundo Harbor. Anything, detailing what's gone on in different parts of the island?
The natural formations?
Or any the inhabitants of different areas of the island.
Ah, yeah, there's quite a good work by Furrier Stevens. He was a hunter of the years past. Actually, quite a good writer for someone who spends so much time with animals. But yes, they might have something that you're looking for if you're looking for the natural formations and the flora and fauna of the town. And he goes and finds that for you. Anything else that I can be looking for while I'm looking for this for any of you?
You don't happen to have anything written about the Plunder King, do you?
I think I have some books on fairy tales and the like of so those sorts of things. There's an older section that has some books that have yet to go through with that. I just fantasy and whatnot. You're welcome to look through some of the stacks over in that area if you'd like. You might find something there.
All right, I'll go check out that section.
Okay, roll an investigation check, Pando.
I would like to help her. I don't know if that would give advantage.
So either whoever has the higher score on that, you guys can roll at advantage. Kashanon,
that it's her.
I have 16.
16? You do actually, you're kind of just like thumbing through. A lot of them are like children's books and just like stupid little things. Some of them look like they came over on boats and were damaged and the like. But you do find a book that you're like, I don't know, maybe this will work. And you kind of like leaf through it a little bit, and you do find a little bit of information on the Plunder King. It is a writer who is talking about the fact that a lot of people discount that, but there's a lot of evidence. It almost reads kind of like those History Channel documentaries about how like all civilizations have stories about dragons, so they must have existed. It's kind of like that. He's like, all civilizations do have stories of the Plunder King. They talk about a tentacled, a formidable tall figure that could speak through thoughts with big tentacled face. And it talks about all the different cultures that talk about that. And it talks about him riding a giant turtle, almost a dragon turtle, or palling around with that in particular is what you glean from that.
Awesome.
Whoa.
Kashanon, can you roll an investigation check for yours?
Yes.
Vibrating giant turtles? Dragon turtle? Whoa.
20.
20? Okay. Yeah, this is a really exceptionally well detailed account of the flora and the fauna of the town. You were specifically asking about the caves, yeah? So that's what you hone in on there. And he does talk about the fact that there are artifacts and things inside of the cave that would speak to the fact that it looks like there was pirate activity in there, and similar language to like suspecting that there was something like the Plunder King there. He talks about tentacles and things of that nature. He talks about people talking about hearing voices where in there rise, relinquish, and whatever the last one was, the same chant that you had there. He talks about giant spiders in that. And actually with a 20, he does mention something that you can make the connection there, that right around there seems to be a favorite spot of the Bauer der Tief, which is he describes as a force, a demigod, that was in charge of recycling the spirits of those who have been lost to the sea. And the fact that this, the Mundo Harbor, was purported to be a creation of life, that this was a natural shore where life and death would meet and would be brought.
Wow. You guys, this is really cool. This talks about how the shores by the cave are where life and death meet. That's where we were.
We did beat death, and then there was the puppet. Yes.
Whoa. This has been going on for a while. That's what I gleaned from this book.
So do we need to? I wasn't really paying attention. Is this a library or a bookstore?
It is a library, bookstore, and knowledge porium, as written on the side.
You eat your knowledge as porridge?
I don't think you should be here anymore.
Okay.
I'm outside busking for cigarettes, so
You get a couple.
Okay, cool. I'm smoking one when you get outside.
Do we want to buy these books?
Yeah. Is this book on flora and fauna in the library section or the bookshop section?
Oh, I would gladly sell it to you if you could find use for it. Absolutely. 5 silver pieces is all I would ask.
Well, hold on there. Blair, he's saying it's 5 silver pieces.
Okay. What if we also got this other book? Is there like a two for less money?
No. 2
deal?
for 10 silver pieces. It would be 2 for more money.
Oh, okay. Here's what I have to offer you. I work on a ship, and there's this Captain Clatch, and I am always trying to spread the joy of reading and literacy to him. And we've been really working on reading. It's been very tough for him, but I've really been trying to teach him how to read. And I think these books would really be kind of a gateway to that for him. So as part of your mission to spread the love of learning, do you think maybe we could get them for 8?
No. 10 silver pieces?
Here's 10 silver pieces. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Holstar, put that out.
No, I earned it. I'll walk.
What
Smells like how Mrs. Doubtfire would smell after a really long day.
What did you do to earn it? How do you earn one?
I was playing music out here.
It to Cashinon's point, it is not. It is an herb of the area that produces some mild psychedelic effects.
I'll walk. Yeah, hold on a second. I think you like this Pando, actually. All right. Well, I'll walk downwind of you or upwind of you. Which one is it that's good?
It depends which way the wind's blowing.
We want to be upwind of you.
We want to be upwind.
All right. You get upwind of me.
Where's your next travel mark here, guys?
Potions
Trying to figure out the
weapons. Potions over weapons.
Potions. So you ask around, and there are a couple of places that come to mind. Actually,
And
go
just-
ahead. Roll an investigation check. Yeah. So I would say, Vlarin, you can roll an investigation check, and you can either use intelligence or charisma, depending on how you want to go with this.
I want all the charisma and none of the intelligence.
Yeah.
Oops, it would help if I roll it into the dice box. 12.
12. It takes you a while, and the night is kind of coming on as you're getting there. They mentioned a couple of general goods stores, but then actually towards the end where you're like, okay, fine, we're just going to go to one of the general goods stores that people said like might have it. Someone mentions that on the further docks, kind of near where your boat is, that there is a merchant who is in port that tends to have oddities and magical eccentric items from different areas that might have what you're looking for.
I would like to go there. And you, as DM, can you remind me, is the sort of standard healing potion 50?
That's correct. 50 gold, yeah. It tends to be a pretty set price.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yep.
Because I'm also pretty sure 10 silver pieces for 2 books is fairly reasonable.
I'm sorry, what?
Never mind, keep going.
Yep. Okay, so you do make your way to the merchant, and when you get there, it is a giant sea turtle that is ported in with that. It's kind of like rubbing its neck up against the post to kind of scratch there. On the back of it is what appears to be like basically a ship that has been set up in and around its shell that's there. And it is open. There's like a tent kind of leading up to a plank that would indicate that you are allowed to come shopping up there.
Oh, sea friend. Oh, it's so nice to hear that sound. It's been so long. What's your name? Oh, it's good to meet you. Do you have any healing potions?
From the top of... Sorry, what did you say, Nate?
I said I'm going outside and smoking the second cigarette I got.
From the top up on like the merchant stand with the tent and everything like that, you see leaning over the side a larger figure that also looks turtle shaped. It's kind of craning its neck there, and then splashing up from under the turtle, who seems to be like scrubbing the front of it, is a mermaid man. And he says,
Called a merman.
a merman, yes, but he is a merfolk man, is what I should say. That's scrubbing up underneath there. Jet black hair, all slicked back and wet, shirtless, vibrant, bright yellow tail down into the water in the dying sunlight there. It says, yes, you said you wanted potions?
Yes. Do you have any healing potions?
Yes. I you can head on up to the top right of the ship, and I'm sure that we can help you out up top there. I'm just giving this buddy a little rinse.
Well, okay, I'm gonna go up now.
Okay, you walk your way up there, and
I definitely trip at least once.
Okay, fair. Anybody? Are you all going with Valerian at this point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it just me because I'm a sea creature, or was he very, very good looking?
Oh yeah, he was really glistening.
Objectively good looking. Yeah.
No, yeah.
Hey, thanks, guys.
I
What's his name? Oh, let's buy potions and then. Okay.
Yes.
I come back in and follow you guys. I have something. I'm stuffing it out and putting it in my pocket.
Great. You make your way up there, and the tall figure that's been looking over there is a huge humanoid tortoise. It is a turtle that some of you may have recognized. That he is got a like his shell is all kind of decked out and very like neatly kept, like the rims there. It's like he's got like piercings and jewelry kind of adorning over that. He has a cloak that goes over the back of his shell. And his fin, like there's like a little bit of fin scaling up at the top that's bright orange. He has a nose ring as well. He says, welcome. Yeah, I heard that you're looking for some healing potions.
If you have them.
Yeah, we can help you out with that, absolutely.
Oh, thanks so much.
Yeah, feel free to take a look around. We got all sorts of odds and ends from our travels around the world.
We look around.
Okay. You do see some things. There are some potions that are set up there. There are your common healing potions and the like. There's
real quick check in with the group. Who used their healing potion? I know I used mine. Like, how many do we need?
I don't think I've used anything. I don't know.
I don't
All right,
think
good
I
fighter.
did either.
Didn't almost die.
I think Zepp used his,
Yeah.
and I think Hallsteyer might have used his. Somebody else used theirs.
Oh, maybe I got replenished somehow on something.
Did I?
I think you might have, Carrie, because you were in the midst of that like tangled up thing.
Yeah, but she
Yeah,
got
yeah.
out of that within a turn.
I think you might have used one though.
I don't remember where. Yeah, I think I had to have used something. So yes.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
So you look around, and there are quite a number of items around. There are what seem to be like, ornately made daggers, a couple of spears. There's a staff that twists up and ends on the top with the face of a snake. There is there are bunches of stuff to go through. If you want to like do a deeper dive, anyone can make a investigation check.
I should not.
I only have +2 for investigation. That's not great, right?
I have -2. So
Oh.
No.
I only
Live your
have
dream.
one. Yeah, that's good compared to me.
I'll investigate. Is this general investigation?
Yep, an investigation roll.
Oh, cool. All right, 5.
But, you don't see too terribly much beyond what I've already described.
Yeah.
I'm sure that staff does something neat, but the snake freaks me out. So,
Are you asking me that, Tina?
no, I'm just saying that to the world.
Okay.
It's like its eyes follow me around this store. I think it's just going to be the healing potions today. How many do you have in stock?
I could part with a couple. I think that should be fine.
Well, how many is a couple?
2.
You have 2? Okay, up 2. How much would those cost
100 gold.
all together?
That's for the couple of them. 100 gold.
Okay, thanks.
Sure, there's nothing else I could interest you in. We do a lot of traveling, lots of things we can.
Is there something that you like think? Okay, so I'll tell you about us, and you tell us if there's something that we should eat.
All right,
So
that's
we're
fun
a
to
friendship group. We
Oh.
like each other a lot. We're totally friends.
That's always good.
Yeah. This is Hallsteyer on this island.
Sure.
He is a really great musician. You're gonna totally hear his tracks all over the EPs when you're out on your next voyage.
Oh,
It's
I,
gonna
lo- I
be
do
like just-
love it. Any chance I get a couple EPs and have them flying around old Humphrey here.
Okay, so you're gonna ask.
Didn't mean to name him something that somebody else was already named on this island. Don't worry about it.
You're gonna be listening for Kanan Q
QAnon.
Hallsteyer. That's
QAnon.
him.
QAnon.
All right.
Not to be confused with Kashanon, who's here, who makes really great jewelry.
Oh.
So you're gonna want to look out for her pieces because they're gonna be all the rage. And then this is Pando, and she is like crazy brilliant about all things trees. So if like there's like I like also come from the ocean, so I don't know a lot about trees, and she knows everything about trees. It's been super helpful. So if you have any like tree questions, you should totally ask her because she could answer them.
Cool. That's interesting.
Oh, and I'm a Triton. Hi, I'm Blaren.
No, I recognize that from the M's Court, aren't you?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Are you from Mscourt?
No, not personally, no, but you know, my partner is down there, Alessandro.
Is that his name? Alessandro?
Yeah.
Oh, and he's from Mscourt?
He's from around there, yeah.
Oh, isn't that interesting? I mean, so yes, and like we are a friendship group, and we really like to be friends, but we also fight things.
I mean, I got some implements for fighting folk, if that's what you're looking for. I do have some ready-made, already made-up jewelry, if that's something that's interesting to you as well.
Unless it does something super cool, Cash and On's jewelry is like way better than like.
Oh, Blaren, you're so nice and supportive.
It's a friendship group.
Yeah.
For friends.
Give me 1 second.
Oh, and I also run a ship too. And it's the like most comfortable passage ship. Like you're doing a really cool thing with this ship with like the turtle's back and like selling things, super great. I'm doing like a whole bunch of like cool new things with like traveling in comfort and like with activities and programming. So let me know if there's anything to support that.
Well, we don't do a lot of programming so much. It's just bargaining and selling and such.
Sure.
For the one who was interested in, something that, some jewelry and such, was that you? Was that Cashinam? Was that what we were talking about?
That's me. Yeah.
All right.
Hi.
Well, I got some, gloves of thievery.
Gloves of thievery?
Yeah, I could, I'd be willing to part with them for 5,000 gold pieces.
What do they do exactly?
Well, I mean, I when I picked them off of the man I saw there, he was a thief, he was stealing things. I think it helps you do that kind of thing.
So they're literally just the gloves that a thief wore?
Well, I mean, they're enchanted. Alessandro told me that he looked at it and definitely had some magical properties to it. So, I mean,
Is
they're
he magical?
inscripted. They're called the gloves of thieving.
I think 5,000 gold pieces is a little bit out of our price range.
Magical item. I mean, if that's out of your price range, I got some other magic I could interest you in, I suppose.
Here is a question for you.
All right.
Do you have any pranks?
Oh, I got a couple of things that could be considered pranks, I believe. I got a few scrolls that'd be pretty nice at pranking some folk.
What do they do?
All right, well, I got one that sprays a bunch of color at people, and it can do depends on what exactly hits them with the color. That a fun
but
thing
doesn't
might.
that kill people?
Nah, it don't necessarily kill folk.
The way
You
use
said you
this is-
fought people too. I'm just saying maybe.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So color pranking scroll. What other pranks? How much is that?
The color spray scroll will be 120 gold pieces.
Okay. And then what other pranks do you have?
Well, I got a scroll of darkness. Creates darkness. You could do some pranks on people who can't see you.
Sure.
That's gonna be 240 gold pieces. We got a scroll of friends. If you wanted to make somebody your friend and make them think that you were nice to them and such, and then turn around and do a prank on them, that might work out for you.
All
Okay.
seems very cruel.
Also, we're already friends.
That's fair. I'm just trying to give you things.
No, this is
You're
good. We're
asking me
just talking
questions.
it through. I know, and you're doing such a great job of answering them. Thank you so much. You're super great. I'm like a verbal. I just process speaking. That's all. Just it's.
That's
How
fair.
great
All
did
right.
you do?
Well, there's a staff over there that.
It's like watching.
Well, you said you know a lot about trees. Is that right?
Sure is right.
Well, so I reckon. Does that mean you're one of them druid folk?
I am proudly.
All right. Well, I do have a staff over there, the one with the big snake head at it. That's called a staff of the adder. You can turn it into a snake.
You have my ears and eyes.
That's a big thing about it. You can hit people with it too. You can turn it into a snake.
How much is it?
That will be 300 gold pieces.
Laren, what do I do?
Okay, so first of all, can you just give us 1 second? We're just gonna
Sure.
like talk about our prank options.
Sidebar.
Not a problem.
Yeah. So for our reference, and remembering it might be a little while till we come into money again, because we don't have a clear indicator of who's going to pay us next. We have spent almost 200 gold, leaving us with 600 gold.
Oh,
So we could maybe buy one of them, but also he doesn't seem super willing to bargain.
right.
And I could offer to advertise. I'm willing to try. So if somebody really wants something, we can give it a go, but that's where we are.
It seems too steep.
Well,
Yeah, I
what would you do with a stick that turns into a snake? I mean, what wouldn't you do? I get
What
it.
did I do?
You got a cleric among you. He could use it too, I suppose.
What would a cleric do with
What
it?
would a cleric do with it?
Hit people and turn it into a snake. I mean, that's what it does. I personally can't
snake-
use it. And Alessandra can't use it, but that's what the man who gave it to us told us it could do.
Oh, does the snake bite people?
Sure can. I mean,
And
it's a
I can
snake.
talk to animals, right? I keep forgetting that power.
You can, I believe, speak to animals. Yes.
That's the reason it interests me.
Okay, so here's the thing: is like that stick seems awesome. The 300 gold is a lot of gold, and is just a little out of our price range. Is there any way that we could maybe we're also getting the healing potions? Do come down just a little bit?
Anything you got to trade?
What are you interested in?
I'm interested in all sorts of eclectic items that might be interested in other people.
What do we got, guys?
Let me rummage through. I'm looking at my list.
Do you have any puppets to give?
I know.
I believe Nate does have a couple puppets.
I do have a couple puppets.
Are you willing to part with any of the puppets?
Yeah. I wanted that seagull puppet. The one that was on the other Humphrey. But yeah, here. Which puppets do I have, Danny? Do we remember?
I think you bought a couple of like the little hero puppets.
Yeah, okay. So some hero puppet. I'll donate to the cause.
What will that get us, sir?
Oh, okay. I thought a puppet had been brought up already.
Yeah.
You want a
just,
puppet?
just the puppet? I mean, I don't know if it's not gonna be a tit for tat trade for what's it do?
Oh no, we'll still pay some money. Just 300 is too much.
Yeah.
I could drop it down to 275 if you're taking those potions with you too.
I think we were really hoping for something closer to 200. You said you have jewelry. Does Kashnan, do you have any like jewelry that you made that you would be willing to trade? I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
What do you think of these earrings? Do you like these earrings?
Roll the
They just-
persuasion check with advantage.
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Boop, 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 boop. It's taking a minute. I don't know why it's taking so long. 18?
18.
Yeah.
He looks at him. He comes in. You'd mind if I come in a little closer?
Sure.
I know elves can be touchy about these sorts of things. He looks in closer and says, "That's fine craft work there." All right.
Thank you.
All right, I can go down to 225.
Sure, you can't go 200.
I mean, it's really fine
For-
crafts work for both earrings. I mean, look at
And
The
if you want, I have a boat. I mean, I will. You write me a flyer that puts your store name on it, and I will hang that on my boat. And everybody who comes by will know to stop at this store when they come.
All right, we do a fair amount of sailing around there. Roll a persuasion check, Valera.
15.
All right, 200. You get the snake. I get the puppet. I get the earrings. I get advertisement on your ship.
You can fill it in right now, and I'll take it with me.
All right, so that's 300 gold pieces in total for the potions and the staff.
Everybody good?
All right. You take the earrings out. He takes them, and he does have like small kind of like ear flaps, and he puts one in, and then holds the other.
You look amazing.
Oh, I know I do, darling. Thanks so much.
Oh, anytime.
you can see it's gone to a good home. Your flap.
Your ear.
Well, we do a fair amount of traveling around these islands. I do hope we'll be running into each other a little bit more.
So do I. Can you tell me your name one more time? Humphrey?
My name, no, Humphrey's the big guy I'm standing on.
The big guy,
Very
right.
unique name. You don't hear it a lot around these parts. Doesn't come up too terribly much. My name, little darling, I don't believe I call it yours, but my name is Pierre.
Pierre. I'm Blaren.
Hi, Blair. Nice to meet you.
I'm Hallstein on this island.
That's fantastic. And you said we're looking around for QAnon.
QAnon, just watch. There will be messages.
That's ominous. I do hope that we will be running into each other again there. Cash9, I believe the name was. And
Cash,
hopefully
yeah.
we can maybe get some more craftsmanship, not to sell, but for Alessandra and myself.
Well, yeah, I'll swing back. I'd love to adorn you both with some of my crafts.
Oh, that's very nice.
Adorn your flat.
Yeah, your flaps.
All right, you guys have pointy ears. I'm a little uncomfortable that you're making fun of my ear flaps. All right.
They're not
No,
making
no,
fun of.
I'm-
They're not making fun of the flaps. They're making fun of the word choice flap.
Oh,
My
understood.
ears are knocking into things. So, whatever shape ears we have, I just love that we have the freedom to put whatever we want on the ear.
Our ears are like cat's whiskers. They keep us safe in the dark.
Have you been
Very
smoking some of the local
confused.
stuff? It's a good choice. I always partake myself. Alessandra and I usually puff a little bit before we take out.
So Alessandro, you keep bringing him up. Do you know if he likes theater? Is he a theater going guy?
What are you trying to imply?
Nothing. I think I'm just asking whether you guys like to see performances of plays.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we prefer the performing arts, I suppose. It's a little difficult for him to be getting in on land, so we don't see as often as I think he'd
Well,
like.
there's one happening tonight that we're probably gonna go see, and I think it's happening near the dock. What is that? Where we were? Were we by docks? Is it happening in the square by the docks? Is it like by the
inland
water?
enough. It would be difficult for a sea-bound creature to get to it.
Never mind.
Yeah. Well,
But you should go talk to him. Just blurt it up. Come on, we're gonna be at sea for a while.
Yeah, Valerian, go. You're doing great.
Okay. All right.
All right.
We take everything and it's all square. Yeah.
Yep. He goes back to just kind of like fiddling with the upper deck of the ship, and you go down, and Alessandro's kind of up
And
and
while
under the
I'm
chin.
walking down, because Humphrey presumably does understand me, right?
Yeah. I mean, enough that you could give him gentle commands. It's not like you could speak his language. However, Pando, you could speak to the turtle.
Can I just be Humphrey? High five. Yeah. That's all I wanted. Okay, I'll go down to Alessandro. I don't know if anybody else wanted to do anything.
I mean, Humphrey is there, and he's getting his chin scrubbed by Alessandro. He's like kind of picking barnacles out from him. The light is definitely failing at this point. It is like the sun has gone down, but it's still like kind of light out.
So flirt fast. Got it. Okay. Hi. Are you Alessandro? We're just talking to Pierre up on Humphrey.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear it.
So Alessandro. Hi. I'm Blaren.
Hi.
Okay. So I have a question because we're not from this area. And I know you guys aren't either, but you travel so much. I thought maybe you would know. We're gonna go see a local theater production, and I didn't know, like, is it customary to like bring something if you're like seeing somebody in a play?
Well, I as you know, and sea folk being where we are, I would bring a little bit of coral if I were going myself, but I don't really see any land performances as much.
Sure.
But I would bring a bunch of coral, or perhaps an arrangement of shells if it was something that you wanted to see.
Oh, what shells are your favorite shells?
Me personally?
Yeah.
Well, I'm partial to conch.
That's the okay. And what coral do you like best? Although I'm a little surprised you would give you just kill it to like give it to people to be in a play.
I trim it, sure.
Okay. You just trim coral off the reef.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I trim coral. Now, it's something that we used to do for each other and make arrangements, and you know, sometimes they would grow in our homes. When, you know, Pierre and I first started traveling together, I would get him some coral, and he would mostly eat it. He's a little bit different, but
Sure. Okay. I think we're gonna go. We're gonna catch that show. I don't know if you're able to go, but like, here's the information. It was great to meet you. Thank you so much for the advice.
Yeah, to come by, and I overheard the conversation a little bit above. I hope that our paths will cross again.
Absolutely. Bye now. When I'm out of earshot, he kills coral. Who cuts coral? I don't read what?
I know, I'm sorry. It wasn't meant to be.
It's not meant to be. Oof.
So good looking. Oh,
At least we got that, you know, mental picture to keep with you for as long as you want.
okay.
You guys ever hear about the world turtle?
the
Yeah.
turtle that carries the world on his back?
Yeah, turtles all the way down. I'm feeling kind of tripped out by that whole experience.
Did you have some of the local stuff?
Maybe I was downwind for a little bit while you were smoking that.
Would you like some?
I don't know.
You guys, are we going to go see this play? I feel like if we're going to see this play or this show, we might need to smoke some of this stuff. I'm just going to say.
All right. Well, I have a third one, so I'm going to go ahead and pass it around.
I'm good, thanks. I'm gonna keep the stuff and the money.
Yeah. Valerian, that sounds exactly like the dynamic that this group has landed on.
You are in charge of being responsible. I can't believe people didn't trust you with things before, considering
Well-
you are incredibly.
I know, but sometimes I get confused by numbers. Not today, though. So don't worry about that.
Okay, that is slightly worrying.
Let's smoke our worries away. All right, you
Yeah.
guys, it's been a long day.
Do you think it's kosher if I do that? I mean, I feel kind of bad because Ryan was talking this big thing about how I'm such a big influence and that they're studying me. It's just a lot of pressure, you know?
I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, I think you need to take that edge off.
Just as long as you smoke while we walk. I think it would be bad if we were late.
All right.
Okay.
Let's all we pass around a spliff as we head over to the play area.
Great. Would you guys like to get into the play tonight? It is 10 o'clock, or would you like to start our next session there?
I actually have to wrap,
Yeah.
but my
I
roommate.
would like to say on the record that I do not forget to pick up my owlbear wall art. I
Got it.
absolutely remember it. The next morning, however many bazillion weeks into the future this is, I know that in the
Hopefully
morning
next week.
I pick up the owlbear artwork and take it to the ship.
Great.
It should be next week.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I don't know how long this play is gonna last, and
I
then we
can't
have to like
wait.
get Zep. Like
Yeah,
we could be
this
here
has
for
been like 6 hours. I think we are like verging on being in one day of this town longer than we were in that cave the entire time.
I mean, it's been fun.
Yeah.
I'm all
good.
about it. I'm just saying, I definitely remember to pick up my wall art.
Our
And
one
also,
concurrent viewer is probably digging it.
well, we also have, a professional voice actor doing an entire town of people. So why aren't we going to take advantage of that?
Yeah,
Oh my
very fun.
Exactly. Yeah, we're gonna hit all those stores, both floors. Every
Those floors.
Thank you so much, guys.
On my Pando cheat sheet, I'm also writing down just funny quotes now from everyone.
Oh, good, because I'm not taking notes, and I feel like there's a lot of good stuff that I'm completely forgetting. by the
Yeah, I
time-
should be
Yeah.
taking more notes than I am, so I'm glad that you are doing that. I don't remember what people sound like, so speaking of professional voice actor, if we come back and people sound different, or I name people Humphrey again, I like naming things Humphrey.
You've
Hey,
used
it's
it before,
just
for
roll
sure.
with it. Wash your hands.
Bye.
I actually need to wash my hands because who knew? Crayon like comes off on your hands. I didn't think that was like a thing, but I've been playing with this crayon